The Fortuitous Five in the battle above the Boroughs. Freshly dubbed the Fortuitous Five, our heroes make a daring escape from London on the intersolar vessel, the Dawnbringer, handily piloted by the brave and beautiful Captain Tabitha Meriweather. As we rejoin the Fortuitous Five, we find them sailing through the night sky, hundreds of feet above the Atlantic Ocean.
Professor, what is that strange light on the horizon?
Let me put on my spectacles.
I got this, Doc. Why, I believe that's...
New York City! Oh, the Dawnbringer is having a terrific go at it.
We've already traversed the Atlantic. What incredible speed. This ship is utterly fascinating.
Keep talking like that, Professor, and we may have to soon move our conversations to my quarters.
Oh, whatever are you suggesting?
Take her easy, Doc. You should be so lucky.
Luck has nothing to do with it, my dear boy.
What was that, Professor?
I was merely commenting on the Dawnbringer's beauty, Captain.
Ah, Mr. Price, I found your hiding spot.
Normally, I would find an interruption of my studies most irritating, but I freely admit your barging into my room has aroused my curiosity.
Of course, Mr. Price. That stack of books you've had your nose buried in since we left London must be consuming your soul. Have you found the answers you seek?
How did you know
Mr. Price, your reputation precedes you. I am familiar with your work in the realm of the paranormal and could only deduce that you would be hoping to find a clue as to our mysterious attacker.
Then you saw its face, or lack thereof. Your summations are correct. I am comparing my limited collection of books on the occult to my father's journals. The identity of our mysterious attacker is...
What the devil?
Quickly, to the deck!
What the hell are they, Doc? They look like giant bugs.
Yeah. I'll be damned if I do, old chap. Take that, you vermin! My cane can barely dent their carapaces.
They're Venusians! My crew and I have tangled with their ilk before, but what are they doing above New York City?
They appear to be coming out of those lights in the sky.
Those aren't lights, lad. They're nothing less than tears in the fabric of reality itself. The damn fool has gone and done it.
What fool do you mean?
Never a dull moment, eh, cousin?
Reminds me of pinning butterflies in school.
Doc, look out!
I've been captivated by the teacher's mandibles.
Professor!
Oh, Captain, you have saved my life. How can I ever repay you?
I'm sure I can think of something. This will teach them to try for the Dawnbringer.
Everyone, look over the side. The city is under attack.
Bastards. More.
Is there nothing we can do?
Kid, if we go down there, we'll share their fate.
Chin up, lads. That is New York City. I feel no pity for the Venusians.
Quite.
It seems as though some questions need answering.
You gonna go first, Price? How about you, Doc?
I am still asking questions of my own.
Oh, you know.
Professor Jones, what did you mean when you said that someone had done something?
Are any of you familiar with the work of Michael Faraday, specifically his discovery of mutual induction and his construction of the first electrical generator, also known as the Faraday disc?
Of course,
Oh, yeah.
yes, obviously.
Nope.
And for those that are, I am sure you're also familiar with the theories that surround Mars and the initial inception of the device and Faraday's continued experiments. Pay attention, Mr. Cody.
Professor, you don't mean to say that you believe the Faraday disc is responsible for our initial contact with Mars? That theory isn't even debated anymore, except maybe as a joke.
Oh, what I believe or disbelieve is irrelevant. The simple fact is, when the device was set in motion, we were contacted by Mars, who had heretofore been unaware of our planet's
Doc,
presence.
even I know correlation is not causality.
Not necessarily, of course, my boy. But I would not be a man of science if I wrote this off as coincidence.
You are quite curious, cousin. A man of science believing in fate.
Enoch,
Yes, Professor?
you do not share your fellow shipmates' misguided assessment of my mental acuities.
I would say
Oh,
no,
no,
Professor.
there.
You have an opinion on the relationship between Faraday's disk and initial Martian contact?
I do, Professor.
Please, share with the crew, Enoch.
In the 5 or so decades since initial contact with Mars, it has been written by Martian scholars that first awareness of Earth's sentience and ability to communicate came from a single electromagnetic pulse emanating from the planetary latitude and longitude of approximately 51.5 degrees north and 0.12 degrees west.
Well, in other words, London, England, you landlubbers.
According to those same scholars and some of your own writings, Professor, the time of the pulse, given the offset of distance and speed between Earth and Mars, was near enough to Faraday's experiments that a collaborative theory between Martian and Terran scientists was formed.
Yeah, boy, you are familiar with my cousin's rantings?
Professor Jones, do you really think that the manual production of electromagnetics through artificial means projected a pulse from the Earth and into the ether? Rubbish.
in English, please.
My mad cousin believes that while Mars may have been the first planet in our solar system to receive this pulse, they may not be the last, as the pulse continues onwards from its original course.
Martian scholars? Professor, you must be joking. Mars may have a modicum of technological advances, but they are hardly a lodestone of intellect. For all they are still Martians and will never be our superior. We are the British Empire, and the sun does not set on us, regardless of what planet we conquer.
Underestimating Mars sounds foolish.
I am sure, Lady Turner, that you are aware of the advances the Martians have shared with us.
I am aware, Professor, that Martian technology has done nothing but supplement the work of Mr. Faraday.
Carry on, Enoch.
This theory goes on to postulate that any further developments, especially those in the field of electromagnetism, may create similar pulses, and that while Mars is a civilized culture, there is some concern among the more radical academics. Sorry, Professor.
Well, this is quite all right, my boy. Please go on.
There is some concern that not all life in the solar system will be as civilized.
Hey, Doc. Kind of taking the long way around the barn on this one, ain't ya?
Mr. Cody, your impertinence is only surpassed by your intuition.
Gee, Doc, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
No, Professor, you're making him blush.
I am pleased that many of you find humor in this. You will need it if my concerns are realized.
And what concerns are those, Professor? They wouldn't happen to involve Tesla's current experiments.
Well done, cousin.
Certainly you're not referring to the rumors of his alternating induction engine. The three-phase engine was turned on by Ferraris years ago. If your theory of electropulses and interplanetary contact are to hold water, wouldn't we have already been approached by another planet, civilized or not? What a load of old sausages!
I am sure Ferraris's device is a perfectly fine machine. However, not since Faraday have we seen inspiration in the sense that we have with Tesla. Before that, not since Da Vinci. Ferraris is a mechanic. Tesla is an artist. His design and execution border on magic.
Men of science, are we? Good gods, Professor. You make it sound as though we are living in a penny dreadful. I was under the impression this was a history lecture, not a bedtime story for children.
Professor Jones, what do you think will happen when Tesla turns on his machine?
My dear boy, I believe that he already has.
Ahoy! Do you see it on the horizon? Behold, in the light of dawn, the front range of the Rocky Mountains.
With the rising sun and their old lives behind them, the Fortuitous Five race onward toward their destiny. What new dangers will they face? Tune in next week and learn their fate in The Fortuitous Five and the Mountains of Mystery.